Hey guys, it's Hunt for Games, and the drought is officially over. Seriously, it's been like weeks since I've done a standard Final Fantasy XI video that wasn't about me moving or hitting 2,000 subs. Thanks again for that, by the way, that's like nuts. But it's time to get back to those wandering Notorious Monsters, this time as Black Mage, because I've got a big Black Mage fan favorite at the end of this video. But before we get to that, and to celebrate the move, we're going to say goodbye to an old friend from the old apartment the best way I know how. Killing more bats. Die, Old Two Wings, yes. Old Two Wings lives in the lovely, almost resort-like Garledge Citadel. He's got a 21 to 24-hour respawn, which explains why I've never actually seen him. And being behind the first banishing gate, you had to really want to find him. I mean, you probably wouldn't, because he only drops the Bat Cape, which is okay for basically just ninja. It's +5 evasion. It's fine, and probably one of the better capes for that level that isn't like the Jaguar cape with 3 attack. But the problem is it's like 5 evasion, so unless you're tanking as ninja, no one really cares. It's not game changing. And soon you have things like the MMF mantle taking over, and it's never going to beat that. I'll always jump on an opportunity, though, to kill more bats and revisit old Garledge Citadel. I do love this zone for whatever reason. It's just kind of like got a lot of memories. Not sure how much this one sold for. I don't really remember. I feel like it sold for a lot more than it should have, because whenever I'd switch over to like level ninja, I'd have to buy it, and I'd be like, this thing seems like a stupid purchase to me. Because of how much it cost, its rarity, I never really sought it out. It's just a weird item. Half the problem with Garledge used to just be getting behind the first banishing gate. It was a huge pain in the ass. If there was a party there to let you back, that's fine. But if you're alone, especially, oh my god, cough for hunting, it was miserable, because you had to like, eventually they introduced the trick where you could go into the past, walk through the zone, come back to the future, go back in, and you were behind the banishing gate, and you can get to like 3 of the coffers. I digress, but Garledge was super annoying. But this next guy I did seek out. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually get him to pop again. I say again because he showed up for a previous video. I'm totally going to show a clip here. I'm cheating. I'm sorry. He wouldn't show up. Blood Tear Balder for Steel Fleece is his jerk brother that does the same stuff. Is it Blood Tear or Blood Tear? We're gonna go Blood Tear. Like he's crying blood. Single tear like that Bond villain. Blood Tear can randomly show up when you're hunting the battering ram and is much tougher. Like, seriously, by levels, he's like 30 levels higher. He drops the Viking Shield, which is just awesome, but for very specific jobs and situations. Beasts obviously loved it for their solo travels. They were often sub-white mage, so they couldn't like dual wield, and that means they've got an open slot for this Viking Shield. Paladins also, might think it's kind of neat, but I loved it for Thief. There's a brief period where Thief Warrior could be argued to be the better sub-job option than Thief Ninja, which wouldn't really provide as much till later in game. 12 attack in the offhand slot just made it that much better of an opportunity. Thief 4 was so much fun because it was a little more dangerous. You didn't have shadows to protect you while pulling. Your sneak attack, trick attacks, if you screwed that up and you took the hate, you were kind of screwed. It was a really fun job, and Berserk, sneak attack, trick attack, just amazing. Plus double attack. And at that level, you're probably leveling in Rampier's Tomb, well, back in the day, fighting bats. Later on, Calibri, so that's cool too. Just so fun. The Viking Shield sold for a ridiculous amount, and I say ridiculous because, it's only useful for a few jobs, and not even always for those jobs, so it was always a good day if you managed to nab one, but it's a weird item. I remember I had the Viking Shield, and I didn't really level Beast till way later, so it probably wasn't for that. Paladin never got that high, so it was totally Thief. Thief was the only reason I had the Viking Shield. That's really neat, because everyone does Thief Ninja these days, or Thief Dancer. I don't even know what's 99 deal. I just looked really sad. I don't mean to look that sad, but 99 confuses me sometimes. For all I know, Thief Bard is the new main thing to do with Thief. Haste yourself. I don't know. I never got to that stage of the game with Paladin, so I don't really remember the details, but I know that the different size shields proc different amounts of times. I want to say the small ones are supposed to proc the most, although the Relic Shield and the O-Chain work differently. But I don't remember if this thing was good for that, it would proc a lot, or crappy because it wouldn't protect as much. 12 attack's cool on Paladins no matter what, though. The next guy is kind of weird in that I never actually wanted or needed to get his drop. It's Goblin Wolfman in the Old Ton Mavapolis. He drops the delicious Parade Gorget, which is so sexy. The Parade Gorget would add refresh to MP Starved Paladins and Dark Knights, but only when above 85% HP, which is a bit of an issue for both those jobs. Paladin's tanking, so it's always losing HP, and Dark Knight literally sucks dry its own life force to fuel its attack, so that's a problem. But I mean, this is from a day and age when like refresh was king and rare to even get as both of those jobs. If the only refresh in the party was a bard, asking for ballad as a melee job was like, ugh. You could run back sometimes and like steal it from them, but that wouldn't always work. And even if you had a red mage, often red mages are doing a lot. They're trying to haste and refresh everybody, and Dark Knights and Paladins just got the short end of the stick. Dark Knights more so than Paladins. Paladins, you could argue, like, I need my MP to keep 8, and like, fine, refresh. But Dark Knights, people forgot about all the time. Sorry, bud. But this piece of gear made me want to level them countless times. I could see the future. I'd be that unique paladin that would show up to parties, and everyone in the party would be like, yeah, our paladin has a parade gorget. Look, he's got so much MP, tar, this is amazing. That was always the fantasy. And I mean, 9 out of 10 times, stuff like that led to me leveling that job. That's probably why I have my paladin at like level 35. I loved gear like this. Which brings me to someone I've wanted to get to since I started this series. One of my first ever truly badass pieces of gear. Every black mage knows his name, Mystic Maker Profblix. And he drops the deliciously endgame worthy Moldavite earring. Long, long ago in a galaxy far away, Black Mage was my first job ever in this game, and then I kind of switched off to Summoner around like 35. After leveling Summoner though for a really long time, and needing a break and wanting to actually be like kind of powerful again in parties, I went back to it for a bit, but I wanted to be the best. I was tired of being like this weak party member. I wanted to be the Ash Ketchum of Black Mages. I went down to this shitty maze of Shigrami and hunted him down. I was there for like 2 hours. I was up against this other summoner who probably had the same idea, was tired of being summoner, wanted to be Black Mage, who actually won the claim. But he was fighting in his summoner, and when his carbuncle died, and he tried to summon a new one to like keep the fight going, he lost claim, and I kind of stole it. I've never felt such conflicting emotions as when I stole the Mystic Maker Profblix. So guilty and so happy at the same time. I was arguing in my mind like, he was an idiot, he knew the risks. But I still felt kind of terrible. I got the drop. It's like a 25% drop rate. But I was so happy. I still use that earring to this day on my 99 Black Mage, partially because I never really want to give it up, and that poor guy lost it, so I feel like I have to. But partially because like I still don't have a better piece of gear than that. There are earrings out there that are better, and they're probably not even that hard to get now. But like, +5 magic attack is still legit. It used to be that if you had a Black Mage in your party and he showed up wearing one of these things, you knew you were in for a good time. If your tank could like hold hate from that intense magic bursting that was coming. Then there was that period where you're just kind of sad that there was a Black Mage in your party at all, whether or not he was amazingly geared or not. But now they're on top again, you know, powerhouses that they are. Moldavite was just one of those like first steps to being top tier gear wise with that job. You felt awesome. You could wear it like level 47 all the way up through 75. It just made me want to level all jobs that could use it. I mean, even Red Mage for those rare times I cast a Thunder 3, it'd be like, got a macro in that Moldavite earring. That's gotta happen. Anyways, guys, that's it for this week. I'm glad to be back at it and appreciate everyone's patience with me during the move. It's been way harder than I thought it would be. Let me know all of your favorite Notorious Monsters from this level range, and as always, share your favorite stories from these guys that I listed here. And if you're the guy I stole Profblix from, I'm really sorry at this point. It was like 8 years ago. I hope you're not still holding a grudge. Like the video if you've ever stolen a Notorious Monster from somebody, or even better, if you've had one stolen from you, so you can tell me the terrible story about how that happened. And definitely subscribe if you're new. I've got plenty of videos coming each week, and I really hope to see you guys back. So thanks for watching.